Hi guys, so I'm gonna do this video to talk about Amazon and my experience I've had in the past 3 years. This past July on the 27th marked my 30-year anniversary of working with Amazon, and I'm gonna explain in this video what the benefits are, what's good about it, what's bad about it, and I think it's a job for anybody. So I started in July 27th of 2021, and it was like in the summer, and you would think they would be kind of like closed, but they still were open. And honestly, a lot of people were ordering a lot even during COVID. And I'm from Ohio, so I don't it wasn't as bad as it was in like bigger cities like like Chicago, New York, LA, all those major cities that were more compacted. So when you first start, you don't automatically start in the driving. So don't think that, oh, I'm going to start and right away they're going to put me in the drive. No, that's not even the case at all. I was even shocked myself. And when you first start, they call you and they set you up for training. First, an interview, and then they set you up for training. But before you do the training, your background check, they check for your background. You have to have your driver license, obviously, the regular papers, and they do a drug test. Once the drug test is clear, they wait for your background check. For me, I don't know why, but it took like almost 4 or 5 months for some reason. I have no idea why, but it went through. At the time, it was to the point where I was gonna just give up already and just say, whatever, screw it. And I was gonna go find something else until they finally called me, and then they said you're gonna go on Wednesday. So I started that following Wednesday, not the 27th, but the following, like before, a week before. And like I said, I thought I was gonna go straight in, but no, they take you into a training room and you have to do series of tests, and they make you watch videos for like 3 or 4 days. And again, it's paid for. So I don't think you're just staying there and you're not gonna just they're not gonna pay you. No, they pay you for the training. So that's one thing good about it, to at least start your journey with Amazon and your pay with Amazon. They make you watch videos like all day. They make you do breaks, and then watch those videos. They give you a set of questions. I think it were over like each. I think there's like 4 tests and 4 or 5 tests throughout those days, and each test is like a 25 question, 30 question, just depending on the length of the video. And then at the end, it's 100 questions that you have to answer and you have to pass. And the thing that's crazy is that each day is like a test. Like they test you. You fail the first one, you automatically are done, and then you have to wait for the next training session whenever they have it, in 2 weeks or a month, or whenever that station or that company that you're trying to work for has it. Luckily, I passed all of them, and then after you pass that course, then they make you drive the mobility. That was the hardest part. But what I liked about my experience is that the lady from the company that I was gonna go in for, they make you test drive in the back of the station. There's like obviously, Amazon stations have open parking lots like in the mother, and they do like cones, and they make you practice as long as you want. Obviously, I did it for like 4 or 5 hours because I was so nervous. It was my first time driving those big, huge step vans, and I took it really serious. And they make you literally do all the tests and how to move the van, to check the size, to check your blind spots. You learn that too in the testing and the training, what your blind spots are and what you need to check out for once you're out on the road delivering. And then the next day they make you do test again, and then you wait until each person goes and you watch them in the station. There's like a section in the station in the back, and you have like the office, like the desk and everything, and in the back there's like a big huge area, it's open, and then you have the cones, and you have to do series of that in the cones. You have to do like 15 of them, and you have to pass each one. You cannot hit any of them. The moment you hit a cone, you're done, and then you fail. And even after you do all those tests, even if you pass those tests and you hit a cone, you're done, and you have to do it all over again. So it's very strict and very serious. Luckily for me, I learned in the step up van, and I'm now, after finding out a lot of people don't do the big vans now. They just start with the small ones and then they work their way up. For me, I did it with the step bands right away. That was good for me. And I know a lot of states differ, but for me, I know that I found out that Ohio is different because, like in Chicago, they pay you like $1 or $2 extra if you get on those big, huge vans rather than the small prime vans. In Ohio, they don't. It's like they charge all the same. I think it's messed up, but every state and every company has their own rules. It's what it is. So after that, then they tell you your day and they tell you your schedule. Side note, very important to try to get your schedule. They do make you work at least one of the weekends, like Saturday or Sunday. Friday, I think it's guaranteed, but that's part of the weekend too. You can say, hey, I want to work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's 40 hours. That's 4 days. Or you can try to switch it up. Try to get at least that schedule at the beginning. Otherwise, they would just make a schedule randomly, and then you'll be working on Saturday and Sunday forever or however long you work there. So try to, since you're beginning, you get a chance, an advantage. You try to make your own schedule, and they will accept it. They wouldn't care as long as you tell them straight up. Don't wait, because they would just do it for you. So starting out, when I started there 3 years ago and based in Ohio, I started out, my pay rate was 18.25. And at first I thought it was like, it is what it is, but it was a job. And I always thought that Amazon, it's good when it comes to like job security, because everybody always orders from Amazon. So I always thought it was going to be good for me. And obviously, it is because I've been here now. And then we've had like three raises in the past 3 years. Honestly, just last month we got $1.50 raise, and we're now up to 20.50, and this is in Ohio, Central Ohio. 20.50 is a good pay rate, and we were at 9.50 for a long time. After a year and a half of me being there, they raised it to 9.50. First, it was $19. They raised it $1. And then like a year and a half of me being there, they raised it another 50 cents. So I was at 19.50 for almost over a year now, after being already 2 years. And then they just recently, literally just month, gave raises to everybody to $1.50. And that was just my company, the company that I work for. Every company is different. I don't know about the others, because the station that I work for has 12 different other stations, DSPs that work there. But my company, we start at first. We go in at 9:15 and we come back by 7:15. And our routes are usually around like 180, 190, just depending, but that's like a full on 10 hours. You usually get 10 hours to deliver all that. And you get 20 minutes of loadout. And you can get the big vans or the small prime vans. And I usually recommend everybody to get the CDV vans, the big ones, because it gives you more space, more leg room, and it works so good for you. And the good about it is that you can set your own schedule. You're working alone literally all day. That's what I like about it, because I used to be a supervisor at a cookie factory, 18 to around 25 to 26. I was there for a long time, and I had to deal with customers. I had to deal with employees every single day, management. It was a lot of drama. And, I was always constantly with people. And it did help me work with my management skills, because I was pretty much running a line of 40 people, and I knew how to be a leader. And that really helped me with my communication skills, my management skills, and it really did help me. But I was constantly working with people, and I got so tired of it. So me working by myself is a plus. I love it. I do not mind it at all. And what I like about Amazon is that you create your own vacations. You get your own PTO. My old job, it was crazy, because my old job was very strict when it came to vacations. Like they did, like if you did, like when you hired in through the company, you have to be there a year to at least get a week. You have to be there a whole year without getting no vacations, nothing. You can't. You have to be there a whole year, and then they'll give you a week of vacation. And then they did like a 3 month of perfect attendance. They give you one earned day. I mean, come on, you never know what could happen in 3 months, especially in the winter around here in the North States. So that sucked. With Amazon, it's very different. You create your own PTO. Like if I work 40 hours or 50 hours, you get like 2.5 hours every week. So within, I remember the first year and a half, I had 60 hours or 60 to 65 hours. That's like a week and a half or almost 2 weeks, and just in 6 months. And I used them all within like the past, actually last year, I used them all. And I had 2 weeks of vacation, was all paid for. And that was just because of me, my own time, my own hours that I was working for. That's what I love about it. And Amazon has really good insurance. It has good eye vision, has, the emergency care. It pays for my medicine 100%. When I went to go get my glasses, it pays for the majority of it. I only pay like maybe $60 for a copay, but that's because it's glasses. But the pills that I take daily, those without insurance are usually 8,000 a pop, and the insurance pays for everything. So that's the reason why I like stick with it. And it does something, and sometimes it does suck because you have to listen to management. They have their own rules. They make you wear your uniform. You have to really be careful because at the end of the day you're driving somebody else's van, which is Amazon's van. They're very strict. They have a camera that watches you 24/7. It's AI looking at you, but you can't pass a red light. That gives you an infraction. Obviously, just in general, but like when it comes to Amazon, you have to be very, very careful. They either will send you home, they will suspend you, you can get fired depending, and especially if you have an accident, they're very careless when it comes to that. And you gotta understand because the company's spending their own money on insurance. They're spending a lot of money on insurance for covering all their employees, covering the vans that's not theirs. They're with contract. So Amazon or the DSPs, the contractors are very, very strict to us because they have to follow Amazon's rules, to make sure they have a job and they're getting paid by Amazon and all that. So I get it, but sometimes they can be very, very strict. They make us do all these other things that's like crazy. But then, like I said, I look at the good versus the bad, and the good outweighs the bad. You're by yourself all day, you have good insurance, you have good benefits, you get bonuses as well. I forgot to mention that. Like, for example, for my DSP, you have to be on time, which I have to be there before 9:15, and then you have to have over 160 to get the bonus, and you have to have perfect attendance. They do like a customer feedback. They do like with no missing, no turning back, and all that. No infractions. You make sure you're driving good once you're out on the road, and then you have to be back by 7:15. That's our DSP, and if you get all those good within the day, you get the bonus of like $2. So we're technically getting paid $22.50 with the bonus. Obviously, if you don't get a perfect customer feedback or whatever, or you don't come back on time, then you come back a little bit later because your route was strong, then you don't get it. Sometimes I argue with my bosses because I think it's dumb, but that's their rules, and I understand. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't, but I'm still getting paid $20.50. That's a good paying job. Hourly rate as well, because I know there's a lot of jobs that don't have that. So it's amazing. And I got my ADP out just to show you an example of what I get paid when I work 5 days, 50 hours. The thing about Amazon is that they don't make you work. You can work 6 days, which is almost 1,000 over, depending all the other taxes that they take from you. I get my 401k. Also, you have 401k, and they do matching. Your company, depending on your company, they do matching. Like right now, I'm putting $40 in every week, and they put like $38 or $35 in. So you're getting 70 $75 in every week, just because you're putting in your money and the company's giving that money back. So you're making money out of your 401k, and it will help you with your retirement. So I just started that like almost a year and a half ago, and it's doing really good. It's very healthy right now. I'm getting dividend back in. I mean, like I said, I'm getting the matching from the company now, so that's good. If people that really want to be financial stability growing up once you retire too, Amazon's a really good job for you. So again, I logged into my ADP, and I'm gonna show you what a 5 day gives you. So I don't know if you can see this. So if you can see that, so that's literally this Friday, and it was $825.86. And that's just with all the other taxes taken away. I get that much for 5 days, which is not bad. Obviously I would like a little bit more, but it's not bad depending how you budget, how your rent, everything else that you have to pay with your own personal bills. That's a 5 day pay rate. If, like I said, if you don't have 401k, if you don't have benefits and all that, then you're gonna get more out of it. But I think Amazon's a very, very good job. I think if anybody that really wants to have a physical job, it's good for you. Like for me, I don't work out at all. The only physical work is working with Amazon, carrying those 50, 60 pounds sometimes. Sometimes I get really heavy boxes, but they're, you can carry them. It's doable. You're up and down every single day. You're in and out, in and out, in and out. You're in a race. You're running to the upstairs, third floor of the apartment, coming all the way down. You're doing that almost every day. Houses, you're doing. I think one day, I think I did this last year where I had like the one of those devices that count your steps. I put it on my ankle, and I left it on the moment I started. I turned it on, and the moment that I came back, I did 60,000 steps within those 10 hours. The moment I started and I got clocked in at the job, and the moment that I clocked out from the job. 60,000 steps. That's really good. I think the normal body only asks for like 20 some thousand steps that you need daily to be at least okay. And that's not even including all the other physical work, carrying the boxes, picking them up, undoing them. It's really, you're moving. And that's the thing too. You're busy all day. And a lot of the vans, they have like the music players, so you can listen to the music instead of on your phone, and you can just chill listening to music while you're focused. And I do a system in my own way that makes me get done with over 190 stops with 300 plus packages, and I get it done within the 10 hours on time. Sometimes I'm a little bit late because sometimes I'm going to admit I sometimes waited out to try to get my full 10 hours. And I don't mind that. Just sometimes on the weekends when I'm trying to get home because I have stuff to do and I have plans on the weekend, and I try to hurry up. But I always get it done, and people always ask me, how do you do it? And I have a system. The packages, they have, even the boxes, they call them the overflow packages. They have overflow, and then they have envelopes and boxes. Those are all three different things. When you're loading the bags, they're going to have carts. On the app, it gives you literally the station, and it gives you the 3 or 4 or 5, and it gives you the station, the little mark number of the carts. But also the main focus that you have to look for is the station. And you can come out, and there's literally like an open hallway right there, open hallway, and there's the cards, and it has like the little label of the station number. All you have to do is just look on the app. It tells you right there. For example, mine says station R02. And where you're parked at with everyone else, it's going to say R1 to R20. So you have to go all the way to the front since I'm R2, and you'll see it right there. And then before you pick it up, just to make sure it's yours, you scan it, and it will show the green sign, and it will pop up like a light green screen. That means it's yours. So you just pick them up, start it out, you put it all the way to your van in the back. The door's already open, and you get all the others. And once you have your 3 or 4 or 5 carts, it's always left to right, and it's going to give you a numbers. Everyone always does it different. Everybody, but this is how I do it. Left, there's always 1, 2, 3. There's 9 in a cart. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You always start from left to right, and then you pick up the first one. You put it. I always put it like this is. Let's say this is the van, and the driving is in the back of me, and I'm looking towards the back where my carts are, and there's 2 shelves over here. I always leave it to my left side over here, and you always leave like an empty space. That's where you're gonna put your envelopes. You fill it up, you fill it all the way to the bottom, and then you always leave empty space on your left side to put your envelopes, and you always leave the right side, like I would say maybe from this much space, so you can have your boxes as well on the right side. Okay, so once you do that, you leave the station, you go all the way to your first stop. You start unwrapping the bag. And if someone might ask, well, how do I know which is the first? Literally, the app tells you everything. It tells you the bag number and the bag color, and it tells you the if it's either an envelope or a box or an overflow box. There's a difference. A box and overflow box. The overflow boxes are usually in the back. And what really helps me, okay, so even on the envelopes, the boxes and the overflow, they always have a sticker. It has the label and everything, and it has like a 3-digit number. That 3-digit number, I always put it in the front of the box. Let's say they're stacked up in the shelves, and the 3-digit numbers are always on top of the boxes. I always put it in the front of the box. So when I'm looking specifically for that overflow or a regular box or envelope, they're always going to be in the front. So instead of taking time to overlook and trying to see the boxes, they're just right there in the front. And that's what's helping me. And it's been helping me ever since I noticed that in like 2 years ago. So how I do my organization with the envelope in the boxes on each other side is that, for example, let's say I have 4 envelopes. The first envelope is going to say 351. The second is going to say 356. This one says 380, 378. Now I do it in order, from 1 to 10. So I'm going to put 351, 356, and then 378 goes first before 380. So it's 351, 356, 378, and 380. So now let's say my first stop says 378 envelope, and it gives me the box, it gives me the bag and the number and everything, right? But I already have it in order, all of them. I know that the 378 is towards the back because my 351 is in the front. So I go to the back. Even if I go all the way to the back and I see 380, I go to the second to the last, and there's my 380, and I pick it up. Just like that. And the boxes are the same way. A lot of them, all of them are going to be like that. And there's a lot of boxes that are going to say U56. That's just another one that either they tried to attempt a couple of days ago, and now they're giving it to me to try to deliver it because it's in my area. And I just put it like literally on the side in that open space too. You don't want to mix it up with the overflow because you're just going to cause your confusion. But other than that, it's very good. Like I said, I recommend. A lot of people do in Amazon. It's good for flexibility, pay rate. It's good. I think it's a good, decent job. I live in the city and I've been making it work. I have a little bit of money left over. I pay all my bills, my insurance. It pays for everything. I can't complain. There's a lot of things that obviously I would like to change, but I can't. I don't make the rules. Another con before I end with this is that Amazon does not pay holiday pay, and that's one thing that I don't like about Amazon. But yeah, like I said, every company is different. So yeah. So I hope you guys like this video, and if you guys would like any more questions, just comment on the video. And thank you guys for listening and watching.